Bros and non-binary hosts, welcome back to the one and only Band of Misfits podcast, the showcase of control chaos we call our friendship. Joining us today is yours truly, Panda and Wolf. You're in for a treat because we be ranting today.
Welcome to the Misfits rant session. We all wanted to go on a rant. Well, to be fair, I would have gone on a rant last week. Speaking of which, sorry guys, we weren't able to do the podcast last week. There was a conflicting schedules, unfortunately. Too many conflicting schedules. But we are able to do it today, and so, yeah, every one of us has something to rant about.
Yeah.
Panda, you want to start us off?
Yes. I've got, so I talked about this a little bit in the last podcast, but I finally just lost my cool a little bit with my 8th graders and I apologized to them because I was like, listen, she was this girl that I've been having problems with for weeks now, would not stop smirkling and giggling with her friend, falling out of her seat, talking, and
for context, guys, this is the girl that always claimed would forget her instrument and stuff. And
same one, yeah.
Okay, yeah. For context, guys.
Yeah, same one. So finally, I just lost it. I said, "Boogie on out. Go to the teacher next door." And she's like, "I don't even like you or like it in here." And I admit this was immature, but I was like, "I don't even like you. You know, that's what you sound like. Go throw your tantrum somewhere else."
Dude, she needed to be told off, though. You have to admit.
And she's like, "You don't even like me. That's why you're in here." And I said, no. I looked her in the eye and was like, "No, you're one of my favorite kids." And I say that with my chest. That's why I'm so mad right now. Because you come in here with that damn attitude. For real. I didn't cuss, but I was surely thinking it. I pulled her aside. I ended the class looking at her friend being like, "Don't think you're off the hook, Miss Thang." Okay, because I hear you irking it on and giggling right along with her. We go. And I pulled the girl aside and I was just like, "Do you understand why it hurts me when you come in and do these things?" Like, "I wasn't doing nothing." She's white, by the way. Anyway, so
very white.
If you couldn't tell by the ridiculous way she tries to emulate African American vernacular English. So anyway, I was just like, "Listen, you do not lie to me. I'm literally watching you fall out of your seat, refuse to get your instrument up." She's like, "My friend dropped my paper." And I was like, "Don't. Enough." And I said, "You know why? You come in here with this attitude. I don't care about school. I don't like orchestra. I don't care. But let me tell you something. It is not because I don't care about you. And don't you ever lie on me like that again. I am mad because I love you so much. And you come in here and with that nasty attitude and squander all the talent and potential I see in you. And it is so frustrating. Okay? You came in here yesterday and you were great. Yeah, you called out a little bit, but I understand that's hard for you sometimes. But you were playing, you were with us. I gave you extra points for extra brownie points for that. All right? I want you to know that." And she was very taken aback when I said all of these things. Okay? Because she was not expecting me to say things like that. And she started being very respectful all of a sudden. I was like, "Don't you ever tell anybody that I don't care about you. Because if I didn't care about you, I would waltz my ass right up to the guidance office and kick you out."
That's very true.
I would.
Also, you wouldn't put up with her.
I would not put up with your shit. I would go up to the guidance office and have them kick your scrawny ass into a different elective. I absolutely would. But I'm not going to do that. because you are talented and you're a great kid. And I said, nobody tells you that, do they? And she wouldn't look at me, but I could tell that they don't.
Oh, so that's basically, her admitting
nobody
that
tells. Yeah, they don't. Well, in my head, I was like, maybe if you knew how to fucking act. Anyway, but anyway, like part of it, I'm like, that's why you're so angry. That's why I'm angry. Like, can we make a promise to each other that I won't get mad and you'll come in positive? And we hugged. And that was it. Let me tell you something. If you are a teacher and you got a kid that is riding your last nerve, never be like never say you're a bad kid to that kid. Because that kid is dying for positive attention. Okay? That is what it is.
It's true. Kids normally act out because they want attention.
Yes, but the thing is, they think that all they deserve is negative attention. Kids act the way they think they deserve to be treated. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I really believe that because I've seen it. And you want to act. If you are getting in fights and acting up and being disrespectful like that, you are dying for someone to confirm how shitty you feel about yourself.
And you're going to the wrong person because Panda ain't going to do that.
I'm not going to do it because, I will not give you... No, we leaving with better self-esteem or we're not coming in here at all. That's...
Mm-hmm.
It's ridiculous that, this kid, is angry for some reason. These kids come in here and they're just full of anger. They really are.
Well, this is what, your middle schoolers?
Yeah.
Well, that's why they're in that stage of life where they're trying to just figure things out.
That too. I mean, that's part of it, but I think some of it is circumstance because some of them are just they come in and they are just angry about my dad is never home. My mom has cancer. My dad passed away, or my dad left us, or something. That's a lot of my kids that act out.
This just got dark.
Well, it's the tea.
I'll say it's the tea because that was how it was when I was a summer camp counselor. A lot of my kids had parents who were divorced, but it was messy divorces, so they would act out when they're at the camp.
That's okay, fam.
It's just how it is.
It is, and my high school kids, they just have. I swear, most of them have fucking depression because I do these practice log things with them, and I swear, every week I read something that shocks me to my core, okay? Without fail, I'll be reading it and be like, I was just diagnosed with PTSD, or I'm raising my 10 baby cousins and 3 siblings. I haven't been eating at all the last week. Or, someone I love threatened suicide with a gun right in front of me. Read that. And people don't, they really just think nobody's acting out for no reason. And as a teacher, I think, and there are teachers that just literally don't like kids. And I've said before, I really think that girl sometimes needs a little bit of an ass whooping to get her into shape.
Mm-hmm.
Because I said before, she wants to keep running up on people in fights. She's going to meet somebody that knows how to fight and get her little scrawny ass whooped.
No, she's gonna run in with she's gonna run in with the wrong crowd.
She's going to run in with somebody twice her size that's had a rough ass life that actually knows how to fight and get her scrawny little white ass whooped. Guarantee it. If she does not clean her act up, that is exactly what's going to happen. At the very least. And if you don't say something, I told him, like, listen, I have high expectations for you. And I've said that to all the kids that act up, and she's like, that's what my parents said. Because her parents have been taking my side, mind you. Because I email them very frequently. This is what I'm doing in the classroom. This is how I'm dealing with this. This is how I'm supporting kiddo. Because the first issue we had was her going home and lying about me not supporting her. So now I'm going to email her parents as frequently as I can because you decided to lie. So now I'm going to tell them all your business.
That's true.
Yep. Now I don't trust you.
Honestly, you unfortunately really can't trust kids because kids know that if they lie, their parents are most likely going to believe them.
Yeah.
And it makes them just feel better about the situation because they're like, exactly. Oh, I've got these people on my side. So, yeah, they really screw themselves over. Especially when it's a situation where teacher can respond to the parents and be like, no, your child's lying.
Yeah. Like, this is like, so yeah, now she's like, are you going to email my parents? I'm like, we talked about I need to keep them updated, right? I deleted the office referral. Nobody got referred that day. And I was like really at my wit's end though, because I just sat them down. I was like, listen to me. I am your teacher. And you will treat me with respect and respect for this classroom, or there are going to be consequences. Do I make myself clear? And they were like, yes, ma'am. And I was like, And geez, just like, sit down, or I will have your ass up in that principal's office so fast.
It's just, sometimes you have to do that to say it through to the kid, like, hey, what you're doing is wrong. Because some of them just won't realize it otherwise.
They don't. That's the thing. They need that. They need the consequence. Like, they need the rewards too. But some kids need those consequences. Because nobody gives them consequences. You know what I'm saying?
I'll say, yeah, parents will just ignore them. Be like, whatever, kids are kids. Kids just do this.
They do. So you are the only... That's why they combat against you so much, teachers. Because you are the only person in their life that gives them any kind of structure. And they crave it. They'll never say it. They'll fight you tooth and nail not to say it. But they crave someone to give them structure in their life. They really do. That is why they crave the consequences. And you can ask most child psychologists, they'll be like, kids need someone who has a backbone, but is also kind. And it's a balance of knowing what the kid needs most in their life. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh my goodness. Excuse the game of life's music just playing all of a sudden over my dark rant.
Also, the first thing I did was turn the music off. Yeah, it's very...
where is it? Right, it's so loud.
Also, it's over in the settings.
There it goes. Yeah, I just muted my computer. Okay, there we go. Oh, good. It's working very smoothly. Okay. Let me hit start and see. I'm also testing the game for tonight as I'm doing this. I apologize.
Yeah, guys, we're trying to make sure that things are going to run smoothly for the stream tonight.
So, I apologize for that. But yes, why is my profile a seagull? No.
You can change it if you like mouse over it, there's a little pencil. You can edit it.
Yeah, I see it. Can I change that and change the picture? Or
also, you can change everything.
Here it is. Oh, there's not much variety in here.
No, there's only 3 options.
I guess I'll be a skateboard. Anyway, yeah, so my point is I love my kids very much. And as the other rule of teaching is always be honest. Don't pretend like you were perfect in the situation if you were not. Because you've got 25 eyewitnesses to say you were not. My dear. That's the greatest mistake so many first-year teachers make is that they're just like, I didn't do that. You just have to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
And I had the same thing with my upper level kids that with my general kids, I mean, that like, I had to crack down on them too. But yes, that's pretty much my rant, that like kids don't get read well enough by adults.
No, adults are either quick to punish or they'll just ignore them.
Like, you need to punish, absolutely, but never punish without first telling them why you're angry. Because if you tell them you're mad because you care about them and it upsets you that they're squandering all the potential you see in them, they're going to look at that punishment and they're going to look at you differently than what they might have before you did that. Because it's like that girl said, it's like, she just assumes I don't like her. At least she did before we hugged it out and had a talk. You know what I mean? These kids just crave an adult to tell them they're worth something. Because all they hear is, you suck, you don't know what you're doing, or like, either that or they need to be kicked in the butt a little bit, like, oh, my sweet baby child. And that's all they hear at home. And you give them a fucking reality check. I've had a couple of them too.
I mean, yeah.
Oh, it's painful. It's painful for them. I've never been in trouble before. Stop acting like a disrespectful little shit in my classroom.
No, I say reality check. You're gonna get in trouble at some point.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's better that you have somebody who actually cares and gives a damn about you when you're in trouble than somebody who doesn't.
Exactly. So yes, don't coddle, but don't coddle, but do your best to act out of your heart. Is my rant basically, and it's hard sometimes because it's tiring to do that. It's much more tiring than to just be angry, but it's worth it. So, okay, I'm done.
Okay, I guess it's my rant time. Oh, jeez. So Muse has already been informed of this. I already told Muse about this when we were hanging out, and Shiota knows of this because he's been. I told him the moment I found out. So, long story short, 2.5 weeks ago, I had to essentially leave work early because I had to go to the pharmacy and get a prescription. And there had been a huge mix-up with the prescription. First, they were all like, oh, we can't refill it again because you have to contact your doctor. And then they're like, oh, we've refilled it. And it's like, well, I at work when this is happening, like, I can't go pick it up. And then they were like, okay, well, it's, like 3 days went by and they're like, okay, well, it's your last day. Like, if you don't pick it up, then it's going to be dumped and you're going to have to go through the process of trying to get it refilled again. I was like, are you kidding? Like, normally you have a week, and because of the whole mix-up stuff, they're like, nah, you've got today. I was like, shoot. So I was like, well, I need to leave work early because the pharmacy part of the store closes. And this isn't where I work. This is CVS. The pharmacy closes at 8 o'clock. So it closes earlier than the actual store, which is really annoying. Makes sense, but it's annoying. So I was like, well, shoot, I need to leave early to make sure that I can go down there and get it. And the one that I get the refills at is annoying. I've had to play hot potato. Long story short, there's 2 CVS's on the same road. And I could never figure out which one that my prescription went to because sometimes they would go to one and sometimes they'd go to the other. Now we've got it fixed so they're both at that one. But it's an annoying one because of the location. It's just, it sucks. But, so I had to leave early and I was so tired and stuff. So I asked if I could leave early and the person, the manager that was on duty, ignored the fact that I had blocked the entire section perfectly except for one section, and basically went right to that section and was like, this is why we have you guys stay so late. And it's like, because this they have this thing, so we're there an hour before the store actually closes, which we didn't understand because we were like, before we could see it because it closed in like 4 hours after we left.
Right.
But now it's like an hour after we leave. Like, what? So we didn't really understand it, but he was basically like, this is why we have you stay because this one section gets messed up. And I'm like, okay, I'm thinking, okay, well, the other 90%, 95% is blocked perfectly. Like, but no, let's nitpick over this one section. I didn't say it out loud, obviously. I want to keep my job. But I kind of just stood there quietly. And then there's like this awkward silence. And I was like, I need to go because I need to go to CVS. I gotta go get something. I was like, can I please go? And he was like, yeah, sure, whatever. And I will say I felt bad. Because normally with my OCD, like, I try to make sure everything's perfect. And I told him this, I said, while, like, literally, for some odd reason, and I think it's because a lot of the items were on sale, it was like, buy one, get one free, buy 3 for $5 or whatever. We had a ton of people swarm that section. Like, I had blocked it perfectly and stuff, and then all these people came out of nowhere and swarmed it, so it got really messed up, which never happens, and it's understandable. But, yeah, so I went, didn't think anything of it. A week goes by. Actually, a week and a half goes by, and I noticed that my schedule for that week had gone from, originally, it was like 36 and a half hours, and it went to 8. I was like, that's weird. Like, why is it suddenly 8 hours?
God.
Like, that's nothing. Like, what is this?
Yeah, that's like...
I was like, that's really odd. And I was kind of like, I don't know what's happening. I don't know the reasons. So I kind of mentioned to one of my coworkers. And he turned to me and was like, oh, you don't know? I was like, what do I not know? And he was like, oh, so-and-so, the manager that I had quotes with, cut my hours. I was like, why? And he was like, oh, because he thought that you were being,
insubordinate.
Thank you, Shield. I always forget that word. I was about to ask you what the word meant.
That is ridiculous.
He thought I was being insubordinate to him, and the way he told it to my coworker M, and this is the same M that broke the doors and stuff. He's an awesome guy. Like, we bond over video games whenever we have shifts together. It's great. He basically said that he had been told by the manager that, because he had actually asked before, he had seen the schedule and asked him why my hours were so short. Because he knew that B, the guy who's like in charge of my section, didn't do it. Because he had already made the schedule. And the only way the schedule would change was if a manager, one of the store managers, had changed it. So he asked him, he was like, hey, do you know what's going on? And yeah, he told him basically that I had been insubordinate. And I had basically been like, well, who cares if this section doesn't look good? Like, I don't care about my job, whatever. I just want to go home early. He was like, yeah, he said that you sounded like that. I was like, what? And he was like, oh yeah, no, trust me, I didn't believe him for a second. because I work with you, I see your work ethic and everything. He's like, I didn't believe him. And he actually, Emmett was mad for me. So, long story short, B comes around, the guy who is actually, like, kind of in charge of us. We don't have an actual, like, manager for our section. We just have, like, 3 assistant managers. Because, yes, that makes sense. But he came around and I was like, hey, so what's with the schedule? And he was like, oh, you don't know? I was like, oh, M just told me. And he was like, oh. So, yeah, and then M was basically like, because B said the same thing. He was like, we didn't believe him for a second. We actually work back here and we know your work ethic. We know how you act. Like, you would never do that unless you absolutely had to. And when I explained the situation, like, that I had to go pick up this prescription, because this prescription is my anxiety medication. It's for my anxiety and my OCD. And so, because of how bad both of those are, I take a high dose. So if I, like, miss a day or two, like, it's got really bad consequences, unfortunately.
Yeah, right.
Because if I miss a day or two, then my body, like, slowly starts to not get used to the medication, and then when I try to go back on, it makes me very, very sick, because it's such a high dose I'm taking.
Right.
Like, I think I'm taking, like, triple a dose of what other people normally take for that medication. Like, it's quite high.
Woo!
Yeah. So,
That is high.
Yeah, bad consequences if I miss it. But they were basically like, yeah, no, we didn't believe it. Like, we know how you work and stuff. Like, we're going to talk to him, like, an argument of defense. But M was so mad because he's actually, in the past, he's actually, like, been, like, that in that position of store manager for an entire store. Because he used to work at, like, different places before where we are. And because he used to work at furniture stores and, like, rug stores and stuff. He's like, done everything. He's a jack of all trades. And he was so pissed. He was so mad. He was like, first off, if you're punishing someone, because he told me, he was like, oh yeah, no, you're like, he said that you were basically on, like, probation. I was like, I was never told this. And he was like, oh yeah, no, one, it's illegal and against company policy to put someone on probation and never inform them of this. Especially if you do their punishment and then they're still not aware of it. That's illegal. 2, you're never supposed to cut your workers' hours for probation. You're supposed to, like, demote them or have somebody shadow them or something, like, have something else happen. You're not supposed to cut their hours so drastically. And again, when I told him that, no one had, still to this day, and it's been about 3 weeks now, no one has actually sat down and formally told me that I am on probation until further notice. No one's told me why. No one has told me that, because when you get on probation or whatever, I'm doing air quotes, by the way, guys, because it's very fishy. You're supposed to be called into
probation for what? Okay.
For a misunderstanding.
For what?
He never talked to me about it. He's never talked to me about it.
Probation for one infraction?
And it was a misunderstanding, too. It's not even an infraction. Like, it was totally a misunderstanding. He totally misunderstood the situation. Like, all this could have been resolved if he had just talked to me. He still hasn't talked to me. It's been 3 weeks. Like, normally if you do it, you're supposed to have, like, HR sit down with the employee and tell them, like, this is what happened, what's your side of the story. They're supposed to talk it out with you and then say, hey, this is what we expect you to do to get your hours back to normal. Like, here's what we're looking for. No one's ever sat down with me. Like, I still am seriously considering going to HR and being like, hey, what the heck?
Good.
Because I'm still kind of pissed. Like, my hours have gone up. They have gone up now. They're more in, like, the 16 to 20 hours range. And this is what he told B. B finally was able to, like, get a shift where he was there. And he was finally able to talk to him. He was like, hey, what the heck? Because B was like, no, I'm scheduling you for hours. If he has a problem with it, like, he can take it up with me. So B basically told me that he said that he is going to slowly give me more hours once he's sure that I actually want my job and care about it.
You need to file a complaint with HR immediately.
Oh, I know. I work tomorrow, so it's such a mess. It's a messy situation. And when I do it, my parents already told me to play up the innocent and confused bit because they're like, you were never told this formally, and yet your hours were cut. Because they were like, oh, how many hours were you supposed to have, and then what was it cut to? And they were like, yeah, that's huge! You're supposed to have 36 and a half hours, and your hours got cut to 8. Like, that's a huge difference. So, I just need to figure out, like, how I do this. Because I've never had I've never had this situation happen before. Because my last job actually handled things properly. And every time I would have a complaint filed against me, it was always, misunderstandings. And to be fair, I will say one of the misunderstandings that happened, unfortunately, is probably because of my emotional attachment disorder. Because I was so stressed about trying to get to the pharmacy and stuff, I kind of emotionally detached. So, while I might have come across as insubordinate, really, I was just kind of, like, trying to focus on what I needed to do and the fact that I needed to go get this prescription tonight before they close.
I mean, did B tell him that you were going to get a high-dose prescription that you were in need of?
Yeah, he said that he talked to him. I'm not sure if he explained. I'm not 100% sure if he explained everything. But what's worse is, I was the last person to find out that I was on probation. The other 3 people I work with, all of them found out. Because he told all of them. No one told me. No one told me. And I'm the one that's being punished. I know. My parents are pissed. My parents are upset. My parents at point blank said you need to go to HR. But I need to figure out how to do that. Yeah.
In the break room, there is a poster with the HR lady's number.
You need to call them.
Yeah, I work tomorrow. I'll call them. Because it's been 3 weeks and nobody still has formally talked to me about it. And I've tried to talk to him about it, but, every time I try to find him, he's, not there anymore. He's, left. And I'm like, well, shoot. But even then, I've asked him questions about other things, this isn't our core, what do I do with it, blah, blah, blah. And he still never approached the subject of, oh, by the way, you're on probation. I'm like, ugh. I'm writing down that the poster's in the break. I don't want to cause issues or anything, but
Wolf. You are not causing issues. He is causing issues.
Oh, so yeah, it's more of a he's causing the problem type thing. And yes, my hours have gone back up, but you know what's funny though?
Yeah.
Literally 2 days after I found out about this, because I found out about it on a Tuesday and I have Wednesday off. When I went to work on Thursday, it was still in my mind and stuff. Literally, 2 of the other store managers came up to me. And I don't know if they knew about the probation or whatever, but they were like, "Oh, hey, what's up? How you doing? Oh, your section should be getting an actual they've been trying to get a manager for our section for a long time. They're like, oh, we just want to let you know we should be getting a manager for you guys soon, which will be awesome. But since you're a part-time worker, your hours will go down because you're only part-time, so you won't have to take on the workload that you're having to." So they're like, oh, we wanted to see if you wanted to, help out in another section. That way you can get more hours. I'm thinking, wow. I was like, that guy's on that one manager is on the limb of his own. Because the other 2 just basically asked me if I wanted to get more hours working in another department. Because I'm a good worker.
Right.
So
I'm just going to go out on a limb and guess it's G and J.
Yes.
I figured.
Yes. And every time I meet them, every time I see them, they're always like, "Oh, keep up the good work. You're doing great. Like, how are you doing? Hi." And yeah, they basically asked me if I wanted to help out in this other section. So literally, not tomorrow, but the next Saturday, I'm going through training for that section. And I'm going to start working in that section on Monday because I need somebody to close on Mondays for them. And it's like, wow. It's like,
So,
yeah, I'm on probation,
right,
but I still get all this.
have you spoken to the general manager?
Hey.
Or like the actual full manager? Like the actual full store manager? Not like one of the assistant managers.
No, I haven't.
Like the manager?
So here's a tricky part. The manager that Wolf is having issues with is actually the
Actual manager.
manager.
Really?
Which is the unfortunate part. So I'm gonna have to go to HR, unfortunately, because
you're gonna have to then, yeah.
Because it's legit been this Sunday. So in 2 days, it would have been 3 weeks, and it's ridiculous. It's a mess. It's ridiculous. Why he didn't just... My coworkers point blank were like, "Oh, he's acting extremely childish about this. He's handling this poorly. Like, he's acting like I'm like, he's acting like a toddler." Instead of talking to me about it, instead he talks to my coworkers, and they all knew that I was on this probation. I had to ask why my hours were so low to find out. And they were shocked that I didn't know. They were like, "Oh, you didn't know? Nobody told you?" I was like, "No! No one told me." Like, no. Yeah,
also you're a lot braver than me, because Perry would not allow me to do that.
Oh, I know. Dude, my anxiety is really causing an issue, because I was going to talk to him when I worked last, which was, oh no, God, it was a while ago. I think it was maybe Tuesday. I was going to talk to him, and then by the time I finally worked up the courage, he had literally just left. I was like, shoot.
Oh yeah, I remember this.
Yeah, because she showed it was at the front. I was like, "Oh, I'm about to talk to him," and they were, and the other person working up there was like, "Oh, he's gone." I was like, "Damn it!" Because I wanted to sit down and talk to him and see if we couldn't figure this out, talk it over and stuff. But regardless, the fact that he quote unquote put me on probation, air quotes around the word probation, and cut my hours so drastically and stuff, and didn't actually sit down and talk with me, but instead, told everybody else in my department and everybody else knew. Is ridiculous.
You need to make sure that the people in your department are willing to be witnesses to that too.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna. Yeah.
You gotta build a case, my dear.
Yeah. This is such a messy situation. It's such a headache. I've been having to deal with this for the past, I've only known for 2 weeks. But it's been 3 weeks since the Sunday that I supposedly was insubordinate. Air quotes around insubordinate. Because all this was a misunderstanding. And, did I originally tell him that Sunday that, hey, I was going to get this high-dose prescription? No, because it was none of his business. Did he need to know that? No. I said I was going to CVS. Pretty sure that should clue him in. Oh, most people who go to CVS are getting a prescription.
Also, for context, were you on the clock when this happened?
Yes. I hadn't clocked out yet.
Okay. But was your shift over?
No, my shift wasn't going to be over till 8. I was trying to leave a half hour before, which they don't actually care about. They're very lenient with my department, because if it's slow or something, there have been times where we've been scheduled and literally B or M will be like, "Oh, you can leave an hour early or something." They're like, "We don't care." And they just don't. The management doesn't care either. except for apparently this one day. Normally, it's as long as you do your job and everything's done, it's fine. And I always get everything done before I leave. Could I help the fact that, people came in and messed this up? No. But in the time it would have taken me to fix it, I would not have been able to go and get my prescription.
Well, and I know that's hard. I know that's hard for you, but regardless, what he did was wrong, and he should have spoken to you. This is not justification for that at all. Not justification at all, because that is poor management on his part. But it's always just like, and again, I know it's hard for you because of your emotional attachment disorder. It's really important to force yourself to at least somewhat engage the best you can, and almost in a robotic way, just explain what's going on. Your medical information is not his business.
Which is why I just said I needed to just go to. Which is why I said I need to go to CVS. I didn't tell him, hey, I need to go to CVS to get my high dose prescription for my anxiety and OCD. No, that's not his business.
Maybe, of course not, but just put it in there like, hey, I have this really important prescription I need to get. Mm-hmm. You don't have to say what it is. You know what I'm saying? But it might give more context. Now, this guy sounds like a piece of work, so it could just not.
Yeah, apparently, and I think, Shiota, was it you who told me that apparently when he was put in at our store, like, his other store didn't like him or something?
Yeah, that's the long and short of it. It's like, I don't have the relationship you have with him right now, but I'm personally fine with him, but that's just because I've never gotten into this kind of situation with him.
I'll say, I was fine with him before, but not now.
I mean, I did kind of get into a sort of situation with a manager before, and you guys remember that was the first time I used the safety word?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, guys, we have a safety word. It's an emergency word. If something happens, it's basically it gets all of our attention immediately. We're not going to say what it is, obviously, but
that's ridiculous.
But yeah, I've been dealing with this mess, and it pisses me off. Because I texted Shiota. I was like, when you get ready to leave, come over here.
Yes, H thought you wanted to ask for a divorce.
Yeah, another divorce. Yeah, we're cubbies, guys. Yeah, H thought I wanted to ask for a divorce. But you told H what it was, and even she said it sounded like a fishy situation.
Yeah, she did.
It's because that's considered, in my opinion, purposeful creation of a hostile work environment. Because he is purposely interfering with your work performance.
Mm-hmm. And it's all over a misunderstanding. And the fact that he never actually, it says in, like, the employee manual or whatever, like, if something happens, you're supposed to sit down with the employee and explain what they did wrong and stuff before you punish them. Here I am being punished with no one actually sitting down with me. So.
Yeah, well, dude, I'm so sorry that's going on.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting day at work tomorrow. I will probably call the lady right when I get there. I'm not sure. Shiota, do you work tomorrow?
No.
Fun times. Lucky you.
Oh, trust me, I'll get into my tea in a sec once you're done.
But, yeah, so I'll probably do that right when I get there tomorrow. Because I work tomorrow, like, in late afternoon, so I'll probably call right when I get there and then get to work. Which, I'm there till 8. I will say that the section he's nitpicked me about, he got on me about, I feel, because I actually legit did feel bad that I had left early, so literally every single night since then, that's been the last thing I block before I leave. I make sure it looks perfect before I leave. Like, because I legit felt bad that I had to leave early. So I've been tried to make up for it in my own way and be like, hey, it's, that's not going to happen again. And it hasn't happened again because none of the other managers who have checked after me when I'm trying to leave have had any complaints or anything to say. It was like a one-time thing, and it was and it spiraled into a misunderstanding. It's such a messy situation. It's a mess. It's a headache.
Personally, I would try to do the same thing you did before when you actively tried to find him, but he unfortunately left before then. Personally, I would try and do that.
At the same time, though, I literally have run in. The thing is, I've literally run into him between.
Bless you.
Between.
Also, methinks Wolf froze.
Oh well, let me fix that. But literally, I've spoken to him a few times between the Sunday that the incident originally happened and now. But then, of course, he went out of town for like a week, so I couldn't talk to him. Because he was out of town. And then now he's back in town, and it's hard trying to get schedules to match up. Because I hardly work. I'm a little salty, guys.
I would imagine so.
But yeah, so I've been trying to I keep trying to catch him. But regardless, I think it should be pointed out to HR because he clearly didn't do his job properly. Like, do I want to go to HR? No. But it's been 3 weeks. He's had 3 weeks. He could just give me a phone call, for God's sake. And nothing. Nothing. I said yeah. He's acting like a toddler about it. That's what gets me. It's all because of a misunderstanding, something that can easily be resolved, and he's acting like a child rather than actually talk to me about it. Well, it's just, ugh. It's like, do I want to call HR? No. Am I going to? Yes. Yep. Why? Because this is an issue.
Honestly, I've seen him in a few situations where he would be easily approachable, but then again, Parallax drags me away by the hand. Like, nope.
It's like, nope, don't approach him. But yeah, so, this has been fun.
Because one of Perry's beliefs is when I do something nice for someone else, the universe has to make it right and screw me over then.
See, M is basically like what he did was wrong. M is incredibly pissed.
Oh yeah, like one day he came off with cigarettes, and I was like, hey, Wolf thinking about going to HR because of his situation, and he's like, he should.
Yeah, no, he's encouraging me. He's on my side. He's like, this is wrong. He basically, no. See, I didn't know that he had point blank said he should go to HR, but I knew that he's by far, he's more pissed than I am about the situation. Because he's been in that guy's position where he's where he's the manager of a store. And he's like, I've never done something like this. I always follow the book. I always sit down with the employee and talk to them before I punish them. He's like, you just don't do this.
Honestly, you should try and time it when both you and M walk the same time as
him. Yeah, that's gonna be hard though. I know M and I will work at the same time on Sunday, but I don't know if P will be there.
Honestly, you can just come into the stall when you know both of them are there.
That's true. I just don't know his schedule is the only thing. Like, I know M's schedule because literally they post our schedules all together on a bulletin board. But like, I obviously don't know the store manager's schedule.
The CSM desk has a binder follow their week's schedule, you can easily find out when he walks in that binder.
Then it would just be trying to time it and stuff.
Yeah.
That's the other hard part.
Alright.
Oh no, I think I might just call HR. At this point, I don't even want to deal with it. Just call HR and let them know.
He wants to pussyfoot around it. I wouldn't give him the satisfaction of going up to him to ask him why you don't have your hours at this point.
Mm-hmm. And it's like, again, they're slowly increasing my hours, but it's, we're increasing them slowly to make sure that you actually care about your job and want it. It's like, are you freaking kidding me?
If you are working 36 hours a week and almost never leave early, ever, show up and have never had a single complaint, how do you not care about your job?
Exactly. I'll say, literally,
bullshit.
It's not even that I don't get complaints. Whenever we have, like, the big company managers come, they schedule me the night before they come because they know I'm going to do a good job. They purposely schedule me so I'm there the night before because they're like, we need a good block. Wolf will give us, like, the best block ever. We're going to schedule Wolf for that night because we know he's great at closing. I'm like, awesome. So it's like, how do we go from that to this? Like, what is this?
Because he doesn't pay attention to his employees.
We're going to talk about fun stuff after our tea rant.
Yes, we will.
I can talk about, like, how bullshit Build-A-Bear is. That's a lot lighter than capitalist assholes taking advantage of their workers.
In that case, do we want to quick go ahead and go on to Shioda's rant so then we can go to lightheartedness? Yes. You're Shioda. You have the floor now, my friend.
So, as we are recording this, it is October 8th.
Yes.
The Nintendo Switch OLED comes out today.
Mm-hmm.
My Switch is literally inches away from killing itself. Or at least that's what Perry tells me. Yesterday, I walked. It was a crapshoot. Lovely. When I was stressed on both getting a pre-order for the OLED, which, by the way, was supposed to go up at midnight on the Blockbuster. No, Blockbuster.
Best Buy.
Thank you. The Best Buy website. I was driving, I don't think I was driving off the wall, but I personally feel I was being really annoying with Alien, and Wolf was kind of a side piece just because I couldn't.
Wolf was helping out a little bit.
Yeah, like my anxiety was going haywire to get it.
Can I throw a little bit of like background context in?
Have at.
So didn't you originally like try to do the pre-order through GameStop and then like GameStop canceled your pre-order or something because you didn't put down like?
I don't know. I'm still not entirely clear, but yes.
Yeah. So now he's been trying to like find out if anybody has extra OLEDs in stock. So he had me call Best Buy yesterday, and he had Alien check the Best Buy next to where she works to see if they had any. And literally, Best Buy was like, "Hey, we can't put them on. We can't reserve them for you, but it goes live at midnight, and you can do stuff then." I was like, "Cool, that I believe is what Shioda wanted to know." So I told Shioda, and then
Then after that, my anxiety was up because one thing about my anxiety is it likes to be on time. Like,
I know that. I get that feel.
Oh yes.
One time when me and Wolf were trying to go to lunch, like we were being stormed by people who were either getting lunches for the kids or it was football season. It was the start of the football season as well.
It was the first game of the season that day.
Oh,
and we were supposed to go to lunch. We went to lunch 50 minutes past when we were supposed to.
Yeah.
And that was driving my anxiety bonkers because, again, I'm a perfectionist. I have to be on time. When I say I want to take my lunch at 1, I take my lunch at 1.
Not 1:50, which is when we wound up actually taking our lunch.
But,
wow.
Yeah, so my anxiety was already going haywire. I literally canceled Netflix with Muse just because I was afraid I would lose track of time.
And also being able to order it.
Yeah, so I was just sitting there, just watching a YouTube video because I like to do that. It was 51 minutes long. It was okay, I'll start this at 11:09. By the time this video finishes, it should be midnight. But come midnight, I stood up, and I really should have done this, but my anxiety would not have let me snap if I didn't. I stayed up till roughly 3 o'clock in the morning. Mind you, I had to go to work at 6:30.
Why'd you work today?
So, okay, typically I take this today off, but they were, you know me, they were in a tough situation. They wouldn't have anyone to open, and I say, hey, I know you have and this was the accountant M. He was like, hey, we know you don't have to do this thing until 6. Do you mind coming in and doing an opening from X to 7? I was like, sure, I can do that. I would probably not be doing anything anyways. So yeah, that's why I walked today. So stay up till 8. Stay up to 3 o'clock. Best Buy didn't have it up by midnight our time. I waited an hour because apparently Best Buy goes by Central Time.
No. The lady point blank told me it was midnight East Central Time.
Well, I didn't hear that. You just said.
She said it. No, she said it was our time. She said it was the East Coast or the East time.
Okay,
she said it was midnight by the Eastern time. Because I said it's midnight by our time, and she said yes. So she is a liar.
Yeah, it didn't. Yeah.
That's why it's a liar.
Yeah, it didn't come up. There was nothing there at midnight, so I stayed up an hour. I was like, okay, let's see if this works. Because I legitimately downloaded the Best Buy app, just so I could keep tabs on it. Kept on doing it. Kept on refreshing it. Control all. I had a friend who lives in Florida just trying to ease down my anxiety high. Because my anxiety was flaring up by then.
Well, obviously, yes.
And I said, I'm too paranoid to go to sleep and miss it. So I stayed up till 3. I think I eventually fell asleep at 3:30. Didn't get it. So then, when I went to the walk, I was still anxious about it. You're gonna yell at me, Wolf, but I love it how you just squint your eyes.
Carry on the story, Shioda, so I know what to yell at you about.
The only thing I ate there was a Pepsi to wake me up.
That's not actual food.
And a Three Musketeer.
That's not food.
But okay, to counteract that, when I got home, I did eat chicken strips and mac and cheese.
Is that supposed to make me feel better?
I'm hoping.
No. No. Next time I see you, you're getting punished. And I stand by my point. Okay, ignoring that. And I stand by my point. Shiota is not allowed to join us for the stream tonight. He needs sleep and he needs food. Idiot. That is my decision. Final decision. Boom. I'm laying down the law. Shiota is banned from joining us for the stream tonight.
Trust me, I wasn't planning on it.
Speaking of food, I tried bao for the first time today.
Was it good?
I like it.
It looks good.
It is good.
Anyways, continuing.
Get some bao.
So when I came in, we had. Well, actually, no. Let's play a guessing game. How many people do you think called out by the time I got there?
I'd say probably. No, I'd say 3 or 4.
3, actually. Now, by the time I left, guess how many people called out?
7.
You are actually on file.
I know the work ethic of the morons at our store. They're dumb.
Look in the chat. That was a break sheet for today. The Discord chat, hon.
I'll say which chat, and mine automatically pulled up my phone. Yeah, look at that. I know the work ethic of the people that work there.
Okay,
they suck.
Okay, explain this to me. It's been a long time since I've seen one of these.
So basically, and sorry viewers, you won't understand this. Green is the people who called out.
Okay, that's what I figured. But
there's a lot of green highlighted.
There's a lot of green, yeah.
Yeah. So, and now instead of leaving at 3 o'clock when I was supposed to, I ended up leaving at 4. And
to whoever Matthew is for coming in.
And along with that, I was so stressed about trying to get the Olay because one of my friend he suggested I follow this guy named Royal 64. So apparently he does a lot of updates on just video game things in general. So I was on my phone a majority of the first part of my shift. I kept on checking and I'm not an idiot. I know how to multitask.
I would say, that knows how I'm not scolding you for being on your phone. You know how to multitask fine.
Yeah. So I kept on checking it. I literally had his tweets on notify with every tweet.
Mm-hmm.
On my break, the Olay came on the Nintendo site. Got it, but there was a slight hiccup in the Wi-Fi.
Oh,
and then I didn't get it. Then I kept on trying. Then by the time I got back from lunch, yes, I spent my lunch checking Target and GameStop. Leave me alone. Yeah, that's why I didn't eat. Leave me alone. Anxiety was ruling my mind.
I know. I'm still scolding you. You're still in trouble.
Okay, well, please be gentle. It's my first time.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
At this point, we're just trying to see how bad we can make it for us.
Please be gentle. It's my first time. That's a lie. I'm just kidding.
Technically, I actually is. But yeah, like I kept on. And every time I asked one of them, I was like, okay, I think I already know the answer to this, but I might as well just still ask. Do you still have any special LEDs in stock? One, Target said no. GameStop said they had one, but the first person who walked in bought it. And they opened at 10. I went on my break at 11. I was an hour late.
Oh, that sucks, man. I wish you had told me, because, well, no, I didn't get up till 10:30, never mind. I was gonna say, I could have just drove over and gotten it, but nah, I wouldn't have woken up in time.
So then by the time I got back, H was there. We were just talking, then a notification came on my phone saying, Trisha LED, the white version, I should clarify, is on Amazon. So Amazon I am very familiar with, so I knew exactly where to go. Mm-hmm. And I saved it on my list and watched the Discord chat.
Okay.
Okay.
You got it!
No, okay. Yes, my tea is a little bit sweet.
Well, I'm glad you got it.
So I'm happy about that. My anxiety lifts like a fog. I feel a little bit a fucking lot lighter than I had the whole day.
It's good that
I ended up having to stay an extra hour because people are idiots.
What's new?
Yeah, like if you look at the schedule, they like between 1 and 4 they had no one coming in.
Oh, they've done. I don't know who's been doing our schedule lately. I think it's the managers. They don't know how to schedule anything. There are gaps where there's like an hour or two where there's no one in my department, and it's like, what the hell? And literally, I was talking to my coworkers. It's like, I'm not staying extra. I'm scheduled for this to this. Like, I ain't staying extra. I'm not coming in. And then it's like, I'm not coming in early.
And to add to it, I am very acceptable to seasonal depression, and it was raining all day. So
it is disgusting today.
So
it is very nasty today.
Yeah, so seasonal depression added to my anxiety, and because I didn't get much sleep, Perry is active. So yeah, my day was fun.
Oh yes, Shiota basically texted Muse and I last night and said, I am a ball of stress right now. And then he texted me and he said, it better crap, what was it? Unicorns better crap out rainbows or something.
I will see a rainbow, unicorn crapping out rainbows, or I'm gonna, you can find it.
Yeah. Fill in the blanks, guys. Yeah, because then I sent him all the emojis of unicorn with poop and rainbow. Trying to be like, look, I tried to make you laugh. I don't know if it was successful.
Isn't that nice?
I was trying to make you laugh. I don't know if it worked, but I tried.
I'm gonna say rainbow shitting rainbows if it goes south. Oh, today and the weekend are gonna be shitty. Thankfully, it won't be. Huzzah!
I'll say huzzah! He got this. Which is
supposed to come on Wednesday too. So
the main reason he was trying to get it is also because since he's worried about his Switch, like he would have had to send his Switch off for a few weeks.
True. I was gonna say I've heard it's a really not. It's like if you are already a Switch owner, it's not an essential upgrade, but I've heard it's a very, very nice upgrade.
Yeah, like I am attached. I am very much emotionally attached to the Switch, just because it has all my games on it and whatnot.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sarah, if I didn't say I was sleep deprived, could you tell?
Yes.
I don't think you could.
Oh, I could.
Without the knowledge, when I said I'm wanting on like 2 to 3 hours of sleep.
Yes, because you sound very stressed, dude. You sound
Whoa.
exhausted and stressed.
Okay, yeah.
Oh man.
Anyways, Wolf, do you want to tell the chocolate story to start on the sweet?
Alright, we can't go for too much longer because it's already what time is it?
Yeah.
7:21.
We don't stream we stream at 8:30. We try to make sure people have time to actually eat food between now and then.
I mean, I'm good because I already had my delicious bow, but go ahead.
Yeah. No, I have pizza sitting next to me. My mom brought me pizza halfway through this.
Yeah, nice.
God, the chocolate story. Oh geez, what was it?
So you're the one that wanted to tell it.
I know. I'm trying to remember what it was though.
$50.
Oh, I forgot I have queso in the fridge.
$50 for what?
The hotel room.
Oh yeah, so
right,
I was trying to get us a hotel. Yeah, I was trying to get us a hotel. Oh yes, I remember now. I was trying to.
Thank you.
Yes. Did you see that light bulb just go ding? So long story short, I was trying to get us a hotel. Muse's art show is in late October. I've been trying to get us a hotel. I wound up getting my dad to find a hotel for us. And it is it's an actual nice hotel. Luckily, and this is why I went to my dad for it. It is a Hilton. My family is a part of the Hilton family plan thing or whatever, so we have Hilton points.
Oh, nice.
So it's not as expensive as it would have been, which is nice. Which is why you guys owe so little. So, long story short, I basically went to work and I told Shioda that I got the hotel. And I texted you as well, because we had a group chat between the three of us. And as I'm texting, hey, by the way, you guys owe me, like, $50 each for, the room price or whatever. Shioda's like, you could just tell me that, because I'm right next to you. I was like, well, yes, but I also need to tell Panda, so I might as well just put the text out. And then he comes over to me later when he was about to leave, and he's like, I'm going to go buy something so then I can just pay you it now and I don't have to worry about it. And I was like, okay, cool. He disappears for a few minutes. Then he comes back. And I swear to God, I couldn't decide if I wanted to hit you or hug you. It was mixed emotions. He comes over, hands me the $50, and then he says, here's the $50, oh, and here's to remind, and then he hands me a Hershey's chocolate bar, like the big ones. And he goes, and this is to remind you that you don't deserve me. And you had that little smirk, you had that smirk on your face that's like, I am a Slytherin.
I was wearing a mask!
Oh, I could just see from your eyes, though.
I think we're at the point in this pandemic that we can read facial expressions through masks.
Oh, yes. No, I could tell from your eyes what face you were making. And, yes, he was like, and this is to remind you that you don't deserve me. And he hands me this big chocolate bar. And I'm just like, I don't know if I want to hug you or if I want to punch you. I was like, ew! I was like, of course. I was like, oh, yeah. I don't deserve you. I came home, told my mom it. She cracked up. She thought it was hilarious. My family thought it was hilarious.
Oh, no, not 4 minutes. Jeez.
Panda's in her kitchen, by the way, heating up queso.
If you didn't notice from the fact that I was doing dishes and slamming things in bowls.
Yeah, no, we could hear. We could hear. But yes.
Here's the $50, and here's a reminder of you not deserving me.
That's his exact words. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I should have told her H this. She would have laughed at that.
Oh, you should have. Dude, we took a picture for H on Wednesday. Long story short, so poor Shioda's, he was supposed to have Wednesday and Friday off, and both days he's been called into work. On Wednesday, he got called in, and we're in the middle of recording something, so we finished recording, and then he was like, do you want to come with me so you can guilt trip them? And I was like, hell yeah. So we went there trying to guilt trip them, which it worked. The people that were there, it worked on. Unfortunately, H wasn't there, so we just took a picture and sent it to her. And, it was great.
And now that picture is the contact picture she has for me.
I'll say, now that's her contact picture for him. I'll say, and one of the people at the front was basically like, sharing is caring. You could share Shiota with me, right? And then she was like, never mind.
Sharing is caring.
She was like, never mind. I think I'm just going to fight you for him. I'm like, honey, we got rings and everything. You ain't going to win this fight.
Then I was keen to point out, this guy has a lot of sharp things.
Yes. And I started listing off all the sharp things that I own, and she went, oh, never mind. She noped out of that so fast. She was like, never mind. Never mind, you can keep him. I was like, oh, good.
Oh my god, wait, the leader to me, actually, the leader of us actually leaving my house.
Oh, yes.
So, the whole story behind that was, one of the clerks was stuck in jury duty, and H was like, hey, I know you typically don't walk on Wednesdays, but do you think you could come in? Jay is stuck in... We have a lot of J's, okay, mind you, so this is one of the many J's.
Just bear with us, guys.
Jay's stuck in court, I'm wondering if you could come in, and I'm like, is a fun inn gonna blow down? I'd probably say no. And she's like, not as much as yesterday, but one of the clerks in training is training, and I don't want this clerk to train her because she's so new. Mm-hmm. And, like, eventually I'm like, okay, fine, I can come in 6 to 9. It was like, great. Then the clerk who was closing it, Z, she texts me as I am dressed, as we are walking down the stairs, saying, "Hey, Shiota,
you don't need to come." Panda.
I just spilled things.
I know, that's why I said be careful.
You don't need to come in. Jay is coming, and I literally up there, call her on the phone and say, hey, can I speak to either Z or H? And this was in the cloaking training. And I was like, okay, and I can hear all in the distance, in the background, like, they want to talk to me, and this was Z, and she's like, hello, and I'm like, hey Z, what the fuck?
Because then his mom called upstairs and said language.
Yeah, she doesn't approve.
Yeah, Shiona was standing in the middle of the hallway in his work clothes by this point.
And I'm explaining I am literally about to leave. And, like, obviously I ended up going in, which was fine, but, like, I was very laid back. It's like the feeling you have when you go to school on a weekend. Or like you go to summer school, like you're in school just during the summertime. It's weird and unnatural. Like typically, I wear one of our stalls like jackets, but no, I was in vacation mode. I walked in there with my Umbreon hoodie and I didn't zero fucks.
He was wearing his Umbreon hoodie the whole time. He was in vacation mode.
Legitimately. And no, it's actually funny. I saw... So, this was today. Mm-hmm. When I saw H today, she was like, okay, your new... the picture you sent me is now my contact picture for you. It's like great, and she's like, I didn't know Wolf was walking today. And I stared and I was like, he wasn't. When he called me in, and I was hanging out with him, and she's staring at me like, you could have said no. I was like, do you know? Hello, I guilt trip you. It's like, hello.
It's like, hello, do you know me? I need you to guilt trip. But yeah, it was hilarious.
Like I don't mind helping them out. Like if they seriously need it, like if they're in like a really tight bind, I don't mind. And like typically I don't do Wednesdays. Fridays fine, but Wednesdays are typically non-negotiable because we're doing something the whole day.
Mm-hmm.
And if I miss a recording, fine, but. Obviously, Wednesdays are gonna be. But the only reason why I said yes to this was because I'm a perfectionist and I like to train the clocks.
So they actually do their job properly.
Yes.
I was that person too.
M, before she left, M asked Z who was training her. And Z was like, oh, Sheila. And Melanie's like, good, stick with him. Because he gets his shit done.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my sin is rearing its ugly head, so toot.
Yes. Tooting his own horn now. But yes.
And it's also dumb because, like, apparently one of the clerks fucked up and didn't clear the lot after the store closed. So now there's this big orange sticky note at the front end that says, "Clerks always clear the lot before the closing clerk leaves. This is not optional." I was like, okay, that's not me. Okay, who the fuck did it?
Dude, some of the people that work up there are absolute morons. We had some guy close once. I swear to God, he put expired items. So we had a few, like, somebody came in to return, like, an expired item, claiming that they had bought it from our store and it was expired. It was complete bullcrap because it was like, oh, these expired December 2020. Excuse me. That would not still be on our shelf. Like, we literally have pulled everything off of our shelves recently.
Right, of course.
Like, in the past 2 months, we pulled everything off our shelves and went through. Like, and he was claiming that he had bought this, like, 3 weeks ago. I'm like, that's not possible. Like, that's total bullcrap. He totally just kept these and is trying to get money from you guys now. But, long story short, they accepted it, and instead of putting it in the back, where you put your damaged goods, and M was closing, he told us this, the clerk, that freaking idiot.
Was it a dude or was it a dudette?
It was a dude. He put it back on the shelf.
Ah.
He put a sticky note on it that said expired and then stuck it back on the shelf with all of the fresh product.
I think
I was like, that's the biggest no-no ever. You don't do that.
There's only 2 male clerks up there. I know who it is.
Please.
Jesus.
Can you please just have a conversation with the people up there at the front? Also, because they keep putting freaking produce items in our cooler. Do we look like produce? If I have another watermelon get put in my cooler, I'm gonna scream. We are not produce. But everyone just puts whatever in our cooler. And it pisses us off. Or I should say, it pisses me off because I'm the one that has to run it all to the other departments.
Actually, now that I think about it, I think I'm the only male clerk up there now. Huh.
Thank God.
Because you will be happy to know that clerk you're talking about, who I think I know you about. he recently quit, and because so the whole thing with him was like he only had like two-ish weeks left. His work ethic really went down the gutter, which is honestly also a disappointment for me because he was a first clerk I fully trained, and up until that point, he did his shit.
Well, that sounds like he just slacked off.
Yeah, no, he did. He point blank said, "It's funny how it happens when you have 2 weeks left. You really don't give a damn."
It's like, you're still working here. You need to give a damn. Like, I've had 2 weeks left in a job before. I gave a damn. It's still a job. Do your freaking job. That must have been when you stuck them on the shelf.
That also goes back to what was going on today because like we had 7 flipping call-outs. Like, if you can't commit, don't get a job.
I'll say,
a job is a commitment.
Yeah, the amount of people that just like will get it. We had someone the last year that I was working as a camp counselor. We had a lady quit on the first day because, in her exact words, and I quote, "I didn't sign up for this." Excuse me, you didn't sign up to take care of 10 to 15 kids all day long? Are you joking? She quit on the first day. She was like, "I didn't sign up for this. These kids are crazy." And it's like, this is your job. Don't get the job if you're not willing to put in the work.
One of the reasons one of the cashiers called out was because he was sick, and I'm using quotation marks. Because apparently, this cashier also texted one of the clerks yesterday. Apparently, he had a paper due.
I had research papers I was working on where I was still going to work. It's not hard. It's called multitasking. It's called don't get the job in the first place if you can't balance school and work.
Bad for H because now she's closing clerk and closing MOD now. Because one of the people who called out was our closing clerk.
Okay.
That sucks.
Here we go. Let me just put my volume back on. There we go.
So, Penny, do you want to talk about how ridiculous Build-A-Bear is? Because I'm actually kind of curious about that.
Fuck Build-A-Bear. Yeah. So, sorry, my partner just called me on the phone, had to switch to the computer.
Mm-hmm.
So, sorry, Josh, you're going to have to listen to this, my love. So, I don't know if, for those of you that aren't aware, Build-A-Bear is literally the worst. And I'm going to tell you why Build-A-Bear is the worst. To round us out, a much more wholesome rant. They still suck, and some of it is a little tiny bit dark, but most of it is just like me being an annoyed socialist. And so...
Please, preach!
So, to start off with, I'm going to get the really bad stuff out of the way. For those of you that have been living under a rock, some of you may not know, a couple of years ago, Build-A-Bear did this promotion called Pay Your Age Day.
Oh, I remember this.
Most of you probably know about this already, but and if you aren't aware, it was a total hot fucking disaster, right? So they didn't plan it at all. They didn't plan for the fact that at the time they were one of the most successful like toy companies probably in any area, and like everybody was talking about it, and they were broadcasting it on local news stations. So like, of course, everyone knew about it, right? And so millions of people showed up to this thing, and almost none of them got a bear. People were having heat strokes. Like, Build-A-Bear didn't know what to do to handle it, and it was just a disaster, right? It was just a PR nightmare. And a couple of years later, I think a year or so later, they do a Pay Your Age week. And that's a lot more successful because they are able to spread it out over multiple days. Mm-hmm. And
this is strike 2 for me, is when a 6-month, this was in North Carolina, I believe it was in Wake County, was the story that this woman's 6-month-old daughter died, and that day she received a promotional ticket for her pay your age. So she calls Build-A-Bear and is like, can I make a bear in honor of my kid who literally just died today? And Build-A-Bear says, no, you must have the person present to pay their age.
Well, here's the thing. I can see where they're coming from a capitalist standpoint, but at the same time, you think you would make an exception just once for the situation.
Let me talk a capitalist for a second. Okay? Being that callous is bad for business.
Mm-hmm.
Because everybody's going to be like, what a bunch of fucking assholes. And a bunch of people are going to stop buying from you.
You're going to lose a lot of money.
So let's say I'm a bloodthirsty capitalist. It is in my best interest to appeal to public sympathy because that makes me more money and makes me look better. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So even from a capitalist perspective, to me personally, it doesn't make any sense why you wouldn't just cop the stupid fucking bear.
Dude, they're expensive anyway.
And that's my next. This is the most of the rant. Now the dark stuff, the bad stuff for me is done. Now, of course, after a public relations nightmare, the CEO publicly apologized to the family and offered to bring them in to make a customized bear. If I was that family, I would have told them to suck a dick. But, you know.
Also, I would have told them off.
Their prerogative. If I want the bear for the kid, I want the bear for the kid. So, whatever. So, I say this as someone who used to get Build-A-Bears all the time when I was a kid because I used to beg my mom for them because she would give us a reward whenever we got straight A's, and I was constantly getting straight A's.
I only ever went to Build-A-Bear twice, and it was for birthday parties for other people. My family my family was like, they're expensive and they're pointless, and I was kind of like, okay, that's fine with me.
Bless my mom's heart.
Actually called out.
She's kind of a big softie when it comes to that stuff, so. Yeah. And plus, we had the money for it when I was a kid. So, like, she just said, screw it, I'll give the kid a Build-A-Bear. Right, but. So, I'd like to give you. So, we all know Build-A-Bears are overpriced, but now that Build-A-Bear sells stuff online, I'd like to give you a full example of just how fucking overpriced a Build-A-Bear is. Okay?
Oh, I just pulled up their website. I'm looking at it.
Okay. You can follow along with me then, Wolf, as I outline this for you. So, Build-A-Bear, on top of, their regular bears, has a lot of brand deals with Marvel, Animal Crossing, Star Wars. They have all kinds of shit. Lord of the Rings, all kinds of shit. Right? And so, they also have a brand deal with Paw Patrol. And if you know any child on Earth, you know that at least one little boy is fucking obsessed with Paw Patrol. Okay? All right.
Shit, are you okay?
Yeah, totally. I'm totally not looking through Twitter right now. Just mind my own business.
And
I'm totally not having the Paw Patrol theme.
So, at least one person, probably a child, maybe an adult, that is absolutely...
Ouch.
You're getting cut out, Sheila, sorry.
Obsessed with Paw Patrol.
Okay, I wouldn't have said obsessed.
Okay, but my baby cousin loves Paw Patrol, okay? And specifically, he loves Chase, who is the police dog.
That's understandable.
Which is like the dog that is most popular.
This
because,
is true.
I could go into a whole rant about why the police dog is marketed as the most popular, but that's a whole other rant for another day. But, Chase, just the physical model of Chase, the police dog from Paw Patrol, is about $29 pre-tax. Right? which is already ridiculous, right? Because I can go to Target. I can go to Target right now and purchase a Chase the Police dog plush for $15 probably. So, so
if you want to get his clothes.
This is where it gets juicy. So we move along now to the outfit selections, and you have to purchase his 2-piece police uniform outfit separately, and that's another $15, I think.
$15.
Remember right? $15,
yep.
right? Okay, so and then we have to purchase obviously his catchphrases. That's a separate purchase too, and I believe that's $8 if I remember right.
Yeah, that sounds all right.
Let me look it
I
up.
believe it's right because I know that they have it on there. Because I checked this earlier.
I believe it's actually $7.
$7? Okay. So another $7. And then you can buy your bear scented now. Also, Build-A-Bear has
it's $8. Never mind. It is $8.
Okay.
And if you want to buy his Paw Patrol backpack, which you have to buy separately, it's $12.
$12, right? So
So
let's do some math.
We're over $50 now.
You purchase Chase for $29. Then you purchase his outfit for $15. His sounds for $8, and then his backpack for $12. That comes to a grand total of $79 fucking pre-tax.
However, let's just go over to let's try Amazon.
Yeah, and
Amazon.
Listen, Bezos is a whole nother rant, but it's whatever. Oh man.
Amazon. Let's see. You can get. Oh, here we go. Paw Patrol Chase. In his outfit, stuffed animal with his sounds for $20 on Amazon. Let's do a comparison. What was it? $79 to $20?
Yeah. Yeah. That is fucking ridiculous.
They milk you for your money, guys.
I get why some people really enjoy that. I totally understand that. It's fun. When it's in person, I could more understand it because kids love doing that shit. All right? I can't understand the price, don't get me wrong. But I understand the appeal for children doing it in person because it was fun when I was 7. You know? But me, now, as, again, a godless socialist, looking at this now and not a happy 7-year-old, is like, fuck you and your bullshit.
Oh, yeah.
And also, more reasons for me to not have kids.
It is expensive nowadays.
All right, let's just take it out.
That is ridiculous. Also, you really won't buy.
See, that's why I only ever went twice, and it was for people's birthday parties. Because my parents literally were like, "It's way too expensive. Like, you buy all this crap for your animal. It's way too like my parents. The only times we actually went to Build-A-Bear, like as a family, was, hey, do you want to get an outfit for your teddy bear that you already have? Because the outfit's like $10. Far more reasonable. So we would go and just get outfits. We wouldn't actually make a bear or anything. The only time I ever made a bear was for people's birthday parties. Because it was just so expensive. It was ridiculously expensive. There was no point.
Right. I have... Okay. I can't believe that they have scented bears now. Okay. But you can pick your scent. And I think it's another $3.50 or something.
It is. You can pick your scent and they have scents.
They have a deal with Girl Scouts, too. The Girl Scouts of America, too, where I think they have Samoa. They call it coconut. No, it's a Samoa. Fuck you. It's a Samoa.
Yeah, they tried to change all of the names of the things.
Fuck you, it's a Samoa. So, it's a Samoa scented or Thin Mint scented bear. And
It's weird.
if you're a fat ass like me, you know that you're going to do that. So
it's weird as hell.
It is weird. It is weird. And I hate it.
Yes, screw Build-A-Bear.
Let's wrap it up.
Yes.
I just read what you texted me.
Yes, I just texted said let's wrap it up. This podcast has been going on a long time. Because this is literally Misfits Rant Sesh. That is the title of this. I've already decided that. I decided that.
I like mine.
What was your title?
We should title it "Tea Time with Friends."
I had Misfits. I had Misfits Tea Time.
Misfits Tea Time. That works too. I think we've already had ones titled Rant Sesh anyway. Tea Time works.
I think Tea Time with Friends Misfits Tea Time is either one of those.
I'll do Misfits Tea Time because we have already got Misfits. We have already got Misfits going on a rant.
We are spilling the tea, therefore it is a tea party.
Misfits Tea Time. There we go. There's the title, folks. You probably already know it.
Legitimately, whenever people are gossiping, I walk in and I'm like, ooh, are we having a tea party? Spill the tea.
Literally, that's going to be the description. Misfits spill the tea. Boom. Description.
Yes.
Done.
Man,
this is going to be easy to upload.
Yeah.
But yes, thank you for joining us, guys. Hope you enjoyed our rants. Hope you got fired up with us. Hope you were like, yeah, Build-A-Bear. Oh, screw them. Or, oh, your work situations. Or, oh, your work situations are horrible. Or, oh, shit, I'm so glad you got your Switch. And, I hope you guys got fired up with us. Because we did.
I'm really hoping it comes...
I'm so angry about everything. I find it hard to... People either find it hilarious.
Honestly, I'm hoping the Switch comes when you're here on Wednesday.
That'd be awesome if it did.
Yes, I would love that.
That would be awesome. But yeah, thank you for joining us, guys. We will see you next week.
Hopefully.
Next week.
Hopefully. Ciao.